Celebrating 100 years of educational excellence, Marysville teachers remember.
I did graduate from Marysville High School in 1967. The high school only had 10, 11, and 12 at that time. The first time I walked in there was 1962, and I was a transfer student from Kimball. Where I really started getting involved was I went out for the junior play, and the teacher, Mary Tempaz, I'll never forget her, she asked me to be the student director of the play. And you couldn't have made me happier if you had offered me $1 million. It just boosted my self-esteem. Here's a teacher asking me to do this role, and I absolutely loved it. And then in the next play, Where Were You on the Night of January the 16th, I had a small role. I was playing a doctor, and one of the major players in the play did not learn his lines, and he got kicked off the play. So 2 weeks before the play, I got moved into a major role, and I had to play the role of a gangster. Can you imagine making me up as a gangster with a scar on my face and a hat and an overcoat and stuff like that? And it was really neat. Everybody on the play helped me with my lines, and that's all we did. I think we forgot schoolwork altogether. When I came on the scene, I came running up the aisle from behind, scared the living daylights out of everybody. And I ran up onto the stage, and the bailiffs grabbed me, and there's a tremendous struggle and fight and everything because I'm trying to get at this witness. Well, then the curtain closed, and I sneaked down back behind. Remember where the tunnel was? I went back down by the tunnel, and I came back out again this way. Well, that tunnel kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and there were pipes in there. And I banged my head on the pipe. Luckily, I had a hat on and I didn't get knocked out, because if I got knocked out, that would have really ruined the whole play. So I come up again this time for the next scene, and I'm coming onto the stage again with the witness for that particular segment of the play. It was electrifying. I started out at St. Clair County Community College. Didn't know I wanted to go to college, but I was the president of the student council in Marysville High School and loved it. That's why I went to school. And didn't get much guidance here at home on classes to take, so I took a lot of art classes, a lot of shop classes, things like that. So when I got to the community college, I was tagged as a tech student. And so they put me in engineering drawing and electronics and all of this stuff that required a lot of math, and I was just bombing out. The only reason that I really stayed in school was because I ran for freshman class president, and I got it. And so I'm doing my student government stuff and loving every minute of it. Went to Michigan State University, and there I studied. I started out studying political science, and then I switched over to communication, and eventually got a teaching certificate in English. English was my minor, and human education was my major. When I graduated in 1971 from Michigan State University, jobs were pretty tight, and I made up my mind that I was going to take the first job that came along. And so I did, and that was at a district south of here, and I actually taught there for 7.5 years. And I always wanted to come back to Marysville, so I kept applying, and finally a position opened. And I applied for it, and I'm talking to people, and they say, Joe, you got it. They like you. You're in the district. You're a graduate. You've got the degree. Fine, no problem. I didn't get the job. You know who got it? A guy by the name of Dave Schmarro, who ended up being a good friend of mine, but his dad was the president of the school board. And of course, everybody said, oh, you got rooked. And I said, no, I just keep my application on file. And the next year, another position opened, and I came and applied for that, and that was a reading position, secondary reading, and I had just gotten my master's degree in reading. And so I got that job. The first week that I was there, the principal, Joe Grosser, called me in, and he said, when you didn't get that job that Dave Schmar got, we all had our ears on out in the community. And you know what we heard? And I said, no, what? says, "Nothing. You didn't spread any rumors. You didn't say anything bad about us, did you?" And I says, "No." I said, "I want to work in this district." So I was willing to wait it out. And he says, "That's what got you this job." They had just put the new addition on the old high school, the part there along Huron. And I was in it was the language room. And I don't know if you remember that, but there was a console there with cassette players at it and speakers. And I could talk to every student. And the microphones came down out of the ceiling. And the students put their headphones on, and I could hear them read individually. It was like magic back then. It was amazing. Marysville Schools is where I grew up. It is absolutely phenomenal. I watch a lot of the sports, particularly football. I like to go back in the spring and watch the softball teams play for the plays and the concerts and things like that. So yeah, I'm still very, very connected. I'm only 4 miles from there, so it's very, very easy to get there.